Fox 66 News with Sean Lafferty, meteorologist Tom Atkins, and Jay Pushkar with sports. You're watching Fox 66 News first at 10.
Clean it up. That's the message Erie Koch is getting tonight from upset neighbors and environmentalists. Good evening. Community members urge Erie Koch to clean up their act in light of the plant's being cited for multiple violations by the Commonwealth. The story is new at 10 o'clock. Tiara Braddock joins us now live from the control room with much more on what these community members had to say tonight. Tiara.
Sean, various environmentalists came together tonight to share their research about the DEP violations and more. The organization Hold Erie Koch Accountable say they held this meeting to bring awareness to the issue. About 2 weeks ago, the Department of Environmental Protection was on site of the Erie Koch plant following a chemical spill. Back in February, DEP issued an administrative order to Erie Koch to address ongoing violations of the Pennsylvania Air Pollution Control Act. Another organization that was at the meeting tonight was Groups Against Smog and Pollution, which is based in Allegheny County. A member of From Gas shared how air pollution can affect Erie residents' health. During the meeting, the groups also discussed the Title V permit, which Erie Koch needs to obtain in order to continue operating.
Title V operating permit, and every 5 years that permit has to be renewed. And before the permit is renewed, there's always a public hearing. And this is the time when citizens can say how happy or unhappy they've been with the performance of Erie Koch.
We know from these violations there have been exceedances of their permit limits and other problems of them violating their permits. So we know in that way that yes, they are putting out air pollution into the community more than they are permitted to.
And Sister Pat Lupo added that Title V permit hearing can happen in the next 6 to 8 months, but Hold Erie Koch Accountable will be having another meeting to prepare residents for the upcoming hearing. Sean.
Hi, Tiara Braddock in the control room tonight. Thanks, Tiara. Well, meanwhile, the list of groups demanding change from Erie Koch now officially includes Erie County Council. During their meeting tonight, County Council unanimously approving the drafting of a letter which expresses concern about Erie Koch's impact on the environment. Council plans to send that letter to the State Department of Environmental Protection. Erie City Council and the mayor have also agreed to write letters to state officials regarding the Koch plant. Let's turn to weather now. It's chilly out there again, but there is a warm-up in the forecast. Meteorologist Tom Atkins here now with your Fox First forecast, and it happens pretty quickly, right, Tom?
Yeah, it's going to happen in the next couple of days. Unfortunately, it's not going to last, but hey, you take what you can get this time of the year. This is a cool shot. There are two Delta planes, one at the gate to your right there, but another Delta plane on the left. So we had two Detroit flights tonight. They're both sitting there on the tarmac of Erie International Airport, which is recording a temperature right now of 44. There's the cool north-northeast wind. Now, you can see the precipitation shooting from northwest to southeast across our area. Showers, most of them light in the area through midnight. Cloudy skies to wake up to, and then the temperature starts to jump tomorrow. We'll say mostly cloudy and around 58 at lunchtime. It's going to get even warmer for Thursday. We'll tell you about that and more rain chances in the forecast later in the show. Sean?
Thanks, Tom. Today, Wabtec managers are taking their case directly to union workers, arguing without wage concessions for new employees, work planned for the Erie plant could go elsewhere. Scott Bremner reports.
Day 40 in a 3-month negotiating window, and so far the numbers aren't adding up for Wabtec and former GE union members. The company sending an open letter to workers saying a 2-tier pay scale is essential to the company's Erie success. That's a difference of $13 an hour between the proposed new starting pay rate of $22 an hour and existing workers who make an average of $35 an hour. One of the points the company is trying to make is that all current employees would stay at the same wage, even if they're laid off and then called back. The only employees that would be affected by a different lower pay scale would be new hires. But union leadership argues even the current wages still made GE a lot of money in the day and admit a bumpy train ride still lies ahead.
It's a very complex process. It's a first contract with a new employer. This isn't a matter of getting slight changes or modifications to an existing contract. This is an entirely new contract.
A train ride, the company says, has two possible tracks, one leading to more work and more workers in Erie, the other seeing the work leave for other destinations.
The one thing that's absolutely for certain, things will not stay the same. They will not stay the same. It's either going to go one direction or the other. It's that simple.
A simple choice that may require a complex solution. Scott Bremner, Fox 66 News.
A woman charged with fatally running over another woman with her car appears in court today. Rebecca Frick accepting a plea agreement before President Judge John Trusilla. Frick agreeing to plead guilty to third-degree murder for running over Michelle Muir after the two women got into an argument near East 6th and Wallace Streets in August 2018. That argument reportedly escalated, which led to Frick running Muir over with her vehicle. The judge handing down a possible recommended sentence of 16 to 38 years in prison. The official sentencing is scheduled for May 30th. Also in court today, a man accused of cutting a woman's throat makes a motion to withdraw his guilty plea and change it to not guilty. Leonard Carr pleaded guilty to attempted homicide, possession of a weapon, and simple assault back in February. But on April 10th, his lawyer filed a motion to withdraw that guilty plea. The 35-year-old Carr allegedly assaulted a 37-year-old woman with a knife on Edinburgh Road in May 2018. County Judge John Mead ordered the prosecution to file a response within 10 days. The driver of a vehicle is ejected after losing control and then flipping over in a ditch. A crash happening on Gospel Hill Road near Center Road in Venango Township just before noon today. According to state troopers, the driver of the Jeep lost control and struck a ditch. That vehicle then flipped over before the driver was ejected. That driver was life-flighted to the hospital with injuries. No word on what caused the crash or the exact condition of the driver tonight. Creepy scene on West 12th Street last night. We told you about this as emergency crews respond to a chemical leak. Cloud of smoke and fog reportedly spotted at West 12th Street and Cherry Street Monday night. The investigation continues today, but according to the Erie Fire Department's deputy chief, the nitrogen was non-hazardous and no one in the area was in danger. No one was evacuated from Modern Industries or any other nearby sites. The cause of the leak still unknown. Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris housed priceless artifacts as well as cherished memories for visitors and travelers from all over the world. And now the French President Emmanuel Macron has promised to rebuild. Saïda Abbas spoke to a local architect to see if Macron's idea is even possible.
Ravaged by a massive fire that completely destroyed its roof, the Notre Dame Cathedral will likely not reopen to the public for 3 years.
Well, I mean, I think you can just look how the world reacted. I mean, for people that have never even been there are, you know, just like silenced because of it.
Though much of its roof is collapsed and interior decimated, the charred walls of the Notre Dame Cathedral remain standing.
There could be a strong argument to use some kind of a steel frame, you know, to set that roof system in place. Less, combustible materials.
Fortunately, with just the roof gone, it's definitely possible for that to be rebuilt. The magnitude of this type of project is huge and will take time. It's tough to estimate the cost, but looking at the money that was already donated, experts say the cathedral should be able to smoothly get back on its feet.
I would hope that there was really purposeful documentation done for the building as a record that will be used in the reconstruction.
For an architect, it's important to see what can be saved and then cosmetically replicate the original piece. Saïda Abbas, Fox 66 News.
A church in Girard, similar to the Notre Dame Cathedral, was a historic landmark for that community, which was also destroyed by fire. The wounds that have been hidden away since that Girard fire back in 2018 coming to the surface in the wake of the Notre Dame tragedy. For more than 125 years, the First Presbyterian Church was a staple for the Girard community. The pastor saying today, memories come back to him when he heard about and saw the fire at Notre Dame.
Yesterday was a painful reminder, seeing that, and I'm sure for many in the congregation, seeing that footage was a very painful reminder.
Girard's Presbyterian Church is still in the midst of working with a contractor to finalize floor plans for rebuilding. The Erie School Board is being asked to give one local charter school a failing grade. The district has prepared a notice of non-renewal for Erie Rise Leadership Academy. As first reported by the Erie Times News tonight, that notice is on the agenda for tomorrow's school board meeting. District officials cite 10 different reasons for non-renewal. Among them, the district claims Erie Rise has failed to meet performance standards and violated charter school law. The school's current charter expires on June 30th. Fox 66 News is your local election headquarters. With the primary elections now just weeks away, the election board meets tonight. During this evening's meeting, the board finalized the primary ballot for 2019. They also finalized the voting locations for all of Erie County's 149 precincts, with some polling location changes in the city of Erie and one, or rather in the city of Corry, and one in the city of Erie.
A rather lengthy ballot. There's many contested races, particularly for school board and city council in the city of Erie. So we just want to make sure that all voters throughout Erie County pay attention to their election ballot and make sure they see the names of those that they want to most vote for.
Meanwhile, Carl Anderson says the committee is continuing to work to find new polling machines for Erie County. The goal is to have a full report to County Council in June, a decision in July, and the machines implemented in time for the 2020 primaries. Stay up to date on all your election news at your local election headquarters online, yourerie.com.
More measles, more states, more emergency measures. I'm Brian Yennis in New York with the latest on the growing health problem.
Plus, changing hands. An iconic piece of downtown Erie officially has a new owner. And survival story. Oil rig workers find a dog swimming for its life against all odds.
See news happening? Shoot it, then send it to us via Facebook or the Your Erie To Go app on your smartphone. See it, shoot it, send it.
See, the video says to attach the drain hose to the garbage disposal.
But we don't even have a dishwasher.
Wait, did we buy Model XT or TX?
Neither of those sound right.
Good morning, folks. What can I help you with today?
Your home is unique. So is Value's customer service. Rust-Oleum 2X Ultra Cover Paint Plus Primer, now $2.99. Save over 30%. This quart of Minwax fast-drying polyurethane is a low $10.99 with an additional $3 mail-in rebate. Value Home Centers for the do-it-yourselfer in you.
Nissan's brand is innovation that excites, and it's reflected in advanced safety features on the Sentra. Now only $169 a month. Share the excitement at Interstate Nissan, 1.5 miles south of I-90 on Peachtree.
When it comes to paving, you can buy cheap and hope the company shows up and nothing goes wrong. Or you can hire the local paving experts at Waterford Paving. We offer competitive pricing and reliable work. Whether you're looking for asphalt paving, tar and chip, or patchwork, we stand behind our work. Hometown company, hometown service for 40 years. Waterford Paving, call today for an estimate. 814-796-4145.
Catholic Charities annual fundraiser Club CC is at the Bayfront Convention Center May 11th. Join me to help Catholic Charities continue to provide direct aid to people in need in the Erie Diocese. Reservation information is available at clubccnight.com.
Weather is brought to you by Superstore Joe at Auto Express Kia.
Change can be a good thing. In the past 4 years, Auto Express Kia has helped over 5,000 people make the change.
I used to drive a Nissan.
I used to drive a Jeep.
Used to drive a Cadillac.
Now I drive a Kia.
Now we're driving Kia.
Now I drive a Kia.
Now I drive a Kia.
Lease an all-wheel drive Kia Sportage for only $189 a month. That's $189 a month. I want to see ya in a Kia.
This is Fox 66 News. First at 10.
Coming up, the suspect charged in the Mall of America incident now says he intended to kill someone that day. That's just ahead on Fox 66 News. Another week means more cases of highly contagious measles. That virus continuing to spread despite health officials' best efforts. Fox News correspondent Brian Yennis reports.
90 cases of measles in the U.S. in just 1 week. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reporting the total amount of cases this year is at 555, up from last week's 465.
We are now on track to have the worst year for measles since measles was eliminated in 2000.
It's affecting at least 20 states, including Michigan. 36 cases are confirmed in one southeast county. Michigan state health officials say the outbreak was caused by a single person who spread the virus after contracting it in New York. The New York City suburb of Rockland County has been dealing with an increasing amount of cases for months, with some hospitalizations. Anyone infected is banned from visiting public places and must provide documentation of their illness.
Despite our best efforts, this outbreak is not going away. If anything, it is now accelerating, much as we feared.
The Rockland County outbreak is mostly confined in predominantly Orthodox Jewish communities. It's a similar problem in Brooklyn, where a separate outbreak has led the mayor to mandate vaccinations for people in 4 select zip codes. That emergency order has prompted outrage.
I don't think it's in the city's or any legal way that they can force this upon us.
5 of those residents are now suing the city, claiming it has no legal authority to order vaccinations. The measles are highly contagious and can be lethal, especially for children. However, the CDC has not confirmed any recent fatalities. In New York, Brian Yennis, Fox News.
Police say the man accused of tossing a 5-year-old from a 3rd-floor balcony at the Mall of America did so because women at the mall had previously rejected him. 4 days after the attack, 24-year-old Emmanuel Aranda facing a judge charged with attempted premeditated first-degree murder. Police say Aranda was angry at women and had cased the mall the day before with the intention of killing someone. According to police, he originally planned to target an adult, but instead approached the young boy and his mother, lifting the child and throwing him off the 3rd floor.
He is currently in critical condition, but with the grace of God and excellent support and care, is beginning a long journey to recovery.
Family members of Aranda say he suffers from mental illness. If convicted, he could face life in prison.
And back to weather we go. We've got some more showers moving through the area, but some warmer temperatures, at least for a couple of days. We'll talk about that and your weekend forecast next.
Together, Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield and Allegheny Health Network welcome the next generation of moms and babies with St. Vincent's new labor and delivery suites. Highmark and AHN. Together for health. Together for you. Visit togetherforerie.com.
I needed a car with great mileage to drive home to Erie from WVU. After comparing, I bought a G4 from Interstate Mitsubishi, and I'm getting more than 40 miles per gallon. My G4 was much less than I expected with Apple CarPlay. I love it. It's my very first new car.
Thanks for sharing, Judy. Right now, you can buy a fuel-efficient Mirage or G4 for less than $10,000 at Interstate Mitsubishi, 1/2 mile south of the Mill Creek Mall on Route 99.
Over 100 years ago, we were talking about the Model T. Now here we are, talking about winning the most J.D. Power IQS and Appeal Awards, talking about driver assist technology, talking about the highest customer loyalty in the country. But that's enough talking. Seriously, that was a lot of talking. Back to building.
Right now, get into a fun-to-drive EcoSport for as little as $189 a month. Just $189 for a brand new Ford EcoSport.
Together, Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield and St. Vincent Hospital are investing to create a state-of-the-art emergency department so you can get advanced care when you need it most. Highmark and AHN. Together for health. Together for you. Visit togetherforerie.com.
Weather is brought to you by Superstore Joe at Off-Road Express.
Make a statement with the new Indian Scout Bobber.
Stripped down and blacked out. Its easy, agile handling gives you everything you need and nothing you don't.
Indian Motorcycle of Erie at Off-Road Express. This year, make a statement with the new Indian motorcycle.
The Chief Vintage, the Springfield family, the Indian Chieftain, all with the unmatched performance of the Thunderstroke 111 engine.
Great things come to those who don't settle for good.
from your weather authority, here's meteorologist Tom Atkins.
Start out with the downtown camera, now sponsored by New Motors, as you look at St. Peter Cathedral, as well as the lights on West 10th Street, and obviously a wet West 10th Street and Cathedral, at least for now. But boy, did we start out with some sunrises. This is out by the airport. I'm pretty sure this is the tarmac right in here. Thanks, Amanda. And the colors that were around this morning, this one in Mill Creek, and this one over in Green Township from Rich and Jean. I mean, we're just amazing. So thanks to all of you for brightening up my day with beautiful sunrises. Now, a little bit gloomier is your storm tracker radar. Precipitation coming onshore. So we'll go county by county here. And you see the bulk of it is in Erie County, but it's breaking up a little bit from the northwest. And as we slide you south into Crawford County, you can see it mainly over the northern and northeastern portions. Cambridge over to Townville and Centerville there. And eastward into Warren County, you're getting in on the action. A little bit of sprinkles in the Warren area and back up north towards Sugar Grove. So not a whole lot to write home about. Certainly the temperatures are still cooler than normal. 51 and 33 are high and low, are both 5 degrees below normal. 2/100 of an inch of precipitation. Sunset at 8:03. And as we look around the area, most of the precip has been sliding right on this plane here from northwest to southeast across Erie into Warren, and not much yet down towards Meadville, Franklin, and Youngstown. So it's a little bit of precip, but it's a very unsettled weather pattern. Now we're going to add another 3 minutes of daylight for tomorrow, but there will be showers at times tonight. More of a break tomorrow, I think. More tomorrow night, and then really warmer on Thursday. That's your best day of the week before it turns cooler and wetter Friday and Saturday. So right now, 42, Doc Tom Miller, Niagara Pier, 47, Sandy and McCain, Laura in Edinburgh, and Paul and Albion. But here's the warmer stuff down here. 56, Conneaut Lake, 55, Meadville, 49 in Titusville, 43 in Youngsville, and 44 in Corey. So a big split in the temperatures because of the clouds and rain going over northeastern areas. Now, this is the warm front that's going to get us warmer, and you can almost draw it on your temperature map right here. These are the current readings, and you can see how warm they are to the south of that front. So we'll do you some maps in motion. Showers kind of go away by morning, and watch what happens tomorrow. Another wave comes at us, but the winds start to turn out of the southeast. So we get some late day showers and overnight showers tomorrow night, and then the front comes finally through. And on Thursday, we are in what's called the warm sector with all the warm air pulling up. We could get close to 80 on Thursday, and then this front will spark some showers and storms Thursday night into Friday, and a low moving along it, probably giving some more rain for Saturday. But let's back up and check out the forecast for tonight. Upper 30s, low 40s, some showers at times like you saw on the radar. For tomorrow, again, plenty of clouds, maybe an early or late day shower, but dry time in between. 57 to 64, so warmer tomorrow than it was today. And warmer tomorrow night, 47 to 53 with more showers and gusty winds. Windy and very warm on Thursday, 78. Showers and storms Thursday night, Friday. Friday's temperatures are falling. Saturday, more rain and 56. Easter Sunday looks better than Saturday. That's the way I'll put it now. Chance of showers, 54, and some more showers possible in this wet pattern late Monday into Tuesday. And, of course, you can check out that 7-day, the radar, and much more on the weather page at YourErie.com. That is weather for now. Back to the desk, Sean and Jay.
Thank you, Tom. Jay Pushkar here now with the first look at sports. Mercyhurst making a few announcements and officially welcoming a new women's basketball coach.
Yeah, we knew yesterday who it was, but we had a chance to finally catch up with her and meet her in person, as did a lot of the administrators and faculty. And, of course, we'll hear from her coming up next.
Home. For some, it's a dream. For others, a dream come true. It's the tree out front, the garden you planted. It's holidays, birthdays, and every cookie baked. It's the stories we tell, the laughter and tears we share. It's growing up and growing old together. Home. Empowering people and families to buy theirs is what we do best. Marquette Savings Bank.
Time marches on, but sometimes those old-fashioned cooking gadgets and cookware continue to be the best. You'll be surprised what you can still find at Kaplan's.
If you cook, stop and look, come on out to Kaplan's.
On the next Big Bang Theory.
It's just an audition. Why did I ever give this up?
I'm starting to remember.
The acting bug bites back at Penny.
I do miss this sometimes. Really? I am so sick of the humiliation and being treated like a piece of meat. Chelsea, wish me luck.
But is one bite all it takes?
I heard she's pushing 40 and everything's fake. Yeah, I started that rumor.
Next Big Bang.
Tomorrow night at 7 on Fox 66. Closed captioning is brought to you by Stan's Garden Center.
I'm not a horticulturist.
I'm not a horticulturist.
Her plants always die. You don't have to be a horticulturist. You just have to buy your plants from Stan's Garden Center. Our plants are grown on site in 4 acres of greenhouses, grown in your climate, so they thrive in your climate. I am a horticulturist.
2 locations and millions of plants grown for your home.
And now, Fox 66 Sports with Jay Pushkar.
Good evening. Mercyhurst University introduced its new women's basketball head coach on Tuesday. Lakers Director of Athletics, Brad Davis, welcomed Brooklyn Kohlheim to the campus and the newest member of their coaching staff. Kohlheim has over 14 years of playing and coaching experience. Her coaching stints have included schools such as Nova Southeastern and Michigan Tech. Before joining Mercyhurst, she coached at Lake Erie College. Based on her introduction, Kohlheim is thrilled to see women's basketball get so much attention in this area.
I'm looking out to see all the people that took time out of their day to come here for a basketball announcement. Is something that I've really never been a part of. Even when I was on really, really good teams in South Florida, believe it or not, no one knew we existed. So I'm just blessed. I don't want to be too forward and, say we're going to win right off the bat and we're going to go undefeated. But when you look around, in a couple of years, we're going to be highly competitive. And being in the talk, when it comes to regional rankings is a goal of mine. I know it's a goal of Brad's and President Victor's. And when you see their vision kind of match up with what you want to do as a basketball coach, you're eliminating the barriers that are in place, and you don't really have to fight a lot of battles if everybody wants the same goals.
Kohlheim is no stranger to success either in her coaching profession. Kohlheim has been a part of multiple trips to the NCAA Division II tournament. While at Nova Southeastern, they reached 2 Elite Eights and made it to the Final Four in the 2013-2014 season. Finally, on the NHL scoreboard, yes, you're seeing that correctly, the Pittsburgh Penguins season is over. They fall to the New York Islanders in a 4-game sweep, losing Game 4 3-1. Jake Gensel scored 35 seconds into the game, and that is all Pittsburgh was able to muster offensively. The Isles were able to tie it up a minute and a half later. Brock Nelson is credited with the game-winning goal. That came late in the first period of play. Sean, they added an empty netter, and it's a big surprise because not only them, Tampa Bay, the top seed, the President's Trophy winners, they are out via a sweep as well.
That's a much bigger surprise, I think, if you're looking at seedings at least.
And as you know, junior hockey in the OHL, Guelph came all the way back down 0-3 to beat London.
Well done, Guelph. All right, thanks, man. We'll see you in a little while. We'll have a look at today's top stories with your Erie in 66 seconds. Also coming up, time will tell.
Meet me under the clock. We are taking a look at one iconic building in downtown Erie and how it has evolved over the years.
I just want to make sure that I just do everything I can to just protect him and love him and just, just be the best mom I can be.
Yeah. And with your first, you want to know the doctor and you want to be comfortable with them.
Yeah. I don't want to feel like I'm at a baby factory.
Be like this.
Like, hey.
The fastest growing labor and delivery program in the region is at Allegheny Health Network.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Silverado. It's the official truck of calloused hands. The official truck of getting to work and getting to work. It's the official truck of homecoming and coming home. The all-new Chevy Silverado.
Chevy Truck Month continues with 0% financing for 72 months on this all-new Silverado. Or this deal gets stronger. Current competitive owners get a total value of over $9,500 when financing with GM Financial.
Before you buy a pool to use 3 months a year, come check out the PDC Swim Spas at Young's for year-round fun. With 14 models to choose from, including jetted or dual propulsion and dual zones for swimming and a hot tub. Pick the one to fit your needs. Complete your relaxation experience with an LED lighting package or Bluetooth audio. Or add a pulley workout system for your fitness goals. PDC Swim Spas come with a 35-year warranty on the shell and 5 years on parts and labor. Before making a swim spa purchase, come to Young's and wet test 2 of our most popular models today.
Get your news and get to bed. Watch Fox 66 News first at 10.
If you've been diagnosed with lung cancer, help is available now at Goldberg, Persky & White. Choosing the right law firm is vital to protecting your family's financial future. We are one of the nation's premier law firms with over 30 years experience in asbestos exposure and mesothelioma law. What you decide not only affects you, but your family and maybe generations to come. Don't let time limit your rights. We are the local experts. Call Goldberg, Persky & White at 1-800-COMPLEX or visit gpwlaw.com.
This is Fox 66 News, first at 10.
Community members urge the Erie Coke plant to clean up its act in light of the plant being cited for multiple violations by the Commonwealth. That headlines tonight's top stories. Jill McCormick is live now in the newsroom with your Erie in 66 seconds. Jill?
Yes, Sean, environmentalists coming together tonight to share their research on Erie Coke's DEP violations and what impact they could be having on the area. The organization Hold Erie Coke Accountable holding the meeting to help bring awareness. About 2 weeks ago, the Department of Environmental Protection was on the site of Erie Coke's plant following the chemical spill. Now, during the meeting tonight, the groups also discussed the Title V permit Erie Coke needs to obtain in order to continue operating. The list of groups demanding change from Erie Coke now officially including Erie County Council. During the meeting tonight, the council unanimously approved the drafting of a letter expressing concern about the plant's impact on the environment. They plan to send the letter to the State Department of Environmental Protection. WebTech telling employees that they need to make concessions or work will move. The key concession is a 2-tier wage system. In a letter to workers, the company says it will leave all current employees at current pay. New workers, though, would be hired at $22 an hour. Company maintains other WebTech plants are getting the lower wage, and the company will move the work before paying Erie workers the higher wages. Rebecca Frick accepting a plea agreement this morning. Frick pleading guilty to third-degree murder for running over Michelle Muir with her car after the two got into an argument last August, killing Muir. The judge handing down a possible recommended sentence of 16 to 38 years in prison. Live in the newsroom, Jill McCormick with your Erie in 66 seconds. Sean?
All right, thanks, Jill, for updates on those top stories and breaking news day or night. You can head to yourerie.com, of course, our website, plus our Facebook page and our Twitter account. Today, Housing and Neighborhood Development Services, or HANDS, officially closes on a deal to own the Boston store. Through the process, HANDS acquired the corporation that now owns the building and will become the property manager for residents living there. This project could end up being a $15 million investment, but representatives tell us they're excited to be a part of the future of downtown.
Exciting to continue that tradition of taking buildings and having a repurpose to them and being vibrant and offering a quality housing opportunity for people.
Good says there are 125 apartments inside the building, and within those apartments, there's a mix of market size along with affordable rate apartments. While many call the Boston store home, many others remember the history inside that iconic building. Chelsea Withers talked to residents and one local historian today.
The Boston store was founded in 1885. Since then, it's been the home to all sorts of different things, creating lifelong memories for some.
Iconic, kind of the Macy's or the Bloomingdale's of Erie. The 6th floor had a really elegant dining room. There's a cafeteria in the lower level. I bought my first Christmas ornaments for my very first Christmas tree at the Boston store.
This landmark served as such an iconic location. Signs were dispersed all across the city and surrounding areas about how many more miles to the Boston store. And once people made their way to the building, there was only one place to meet your friends and family.
If you talk to anybody from the pre-cell phone generation about meeting under the clock that actually kind of meant something, it's where people got together.
One thing residents enjoy about living in the Boston store is the history that is behind the building in which they live.
My grandmother worked here, 30 years ago when it was the Boston store, and the 5th floor was a toy store. So I like the fact that it's downtown. I like the fact that it's going to have an eerie flair to it.
It's really exciting living in a Boston store. There's always events going on here. There's a lot of history in this building.
Chelsea Withers, Fox 66 News.
Well, it looks like home builders are feeling more optimistic these days. Fox business correspondent Connell McShane explains Fox means business.
Customized children's clothing delivered right to your door. Walmart is launching a subscription delivery service for kids apparel. The deal with the company KidBox allows parents to personalize clothes for children based on the season and the holidays. Each box will include 4 to 5 items, cost $48, and Walmart says many items will be around 50% off. Not a huge day on Wall Street as investors seem to be cautious as more companies report their earnings, but the Dow and the Nasdaq did close at 2019 highs. Keep an eye on shares of Netflix Wednesday. After the market closed, the company announcing it added 9.6 million new subscribers last quarter. That was more than expected, but also it said this quarter's growth may be weaker. Meanwhile, contractors showing some optimism about the housing market. The National Association of Home Builders says home builders' sentiment hit a 6-month high in April. A jump in the traffic of prospective buyers helping to push confidence higher. And that's business. I'm Connell McShane.
Coming up on Fox 66 News, Just Ducky, the newest addition to Tall Ships Erie, will double the fun on the Bayfront. That's after one more look at the day on Wall Street.
You're watching Fox 66, home of Fox 66 News, first at 10, and Good Day Erie.
Got a dead-end job? Not sure what to do? Want to improve your life? Discover your spark in an exciting new HVAC career with the Institute of Medical and Business Careers Heating, Ventilation, Air Conditioning, and Refrigeration program, offering flexible schedules, financial aid for those who qualify, and HVAC certifications. Study green technology with certified licensed instructors. IMBC offers internships for students and nationwide career placement. Classes forming now, so don't wait. Go online to imbc.edu.
Together, Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield and St. Vincent Hospital are bringing access to primary and specialty care closer to home with the new Eastside Health and Wellness Pavilion. Highmark and AHN. Together for health. Together for you. Visit togetherforerie.com.
Walk, run, fly with new shoes from ShoeFly Erie. We've got the latest in spring and summer styles built for comfort, designed to look great and feel great. We've got all your favorite brands like Bionic, Birkenstock, Keen, and Merrell. Save $10 on New Balance. Save $15 on American-made SAS. Save $20 on Red Wing boots and many more. Come visit the ShoeFly stores on Upper Peach, just north of I-90, and save during our Customer Appreciation Days.
Together, Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield and St. Vincent Hospital are investing in a new comprehensive cancer institute to bring care to Erie all in one place. Highmark and AHN. Together for health. Together for you. Visit togetherforerie.com.
News is brought to you by Bianchi Honda.
Hi, it's Jason Perico for Bianchi Honda. Trust. It's what we all think about before making a big purchase. Here at Bianchi Honda, we earn your trust while giving you a great deal. Lease the sporty and reliable 2019 HR-V LX all-wheel drive for only $198 per month. Bianchi Honda, trusted for over 50 years and still growing in our community today. That's why, around here, we Honda.
This is Fox 66 News, first at 10.
We're just a couple of weeks away from the opening of Waldameer Park, and if you're someone who likes the thrill rides, we've got some good news tonight. Chaos will be opening this year. It's the first upside-down ride being offered at Waldameer. One park representative telling us today it rides as a swinging pendulum and can be fun for everyone, even if you're not riding it.
It's more of a thrill ride. We haven't done a high thrill ride in a while. So those people that seem to have missed that at Waldameer, I think will be excited. But even if you don't ride it like myself, I won't ride it, but I'll still watch it, and I think it'll be great to see the people's reactions.
Well, if you're looking for a more relaxing day at Waldameer instead of the thrills, they've also added a new heated, relaxing pool. The park opens up the first weekend of May. Mill Creek Mall and LECOM joined together creating a fun, healthy walk. Walk for Wellness is part of a new program for Erie residents. Walkers of all ages are welcome to head to the Mill Creek Mall starting at 7 a.m. and walk the 1.2 miles. Now, mall walking's not new, but LECOM also provided other types of physical exercise along the path.
To walk, especially indoors, because obviously living in Erie, we have inclement weather a lot of times of the year, and it's a good way to get exercise safely and also outside the inclement weather.
The walks take place Monday through Saturday. Erie's Tall Ships Festival announces a new addition to the Bayfront Show. Sure to be a popular one, new Baby Duck will be joining 15 ships along with the more familiar Mama Duck, August 22nd through the 25th. Widget Financial is the duck sponsor, and the company's hoping to get the community involved by having a contest for kids to name the baby duck.
It's a bouncing baby boy, and we're having a Name the Duck contest through the schools, and then online you can also go in and name the duck.
Now, some more good news here. The baby duck will be arriving in Erie 2 weeks early.
Back to weather we go, and after the storms, let's do a little lightning safety kind of thing here. What percentage of lightning is cloud to ground lightning? We'll have that answer and your forecast, which does have some more thunderstorms in it, next.
At the Lighthouse Spring Fever Sale, truckloads of new swimming pools, patio furniture sets, and top brand hot tubs have just arrived and will be offered to the public at 30, 40, even 60% off. Swimming pools that were $39.99, now just $19.99. Top brand hot tubs that were $59.99, now $29.99. Huge swim spas are just $2.50 a month. Hundreds of patio furniture sets will be sold at 40 to 70 cents on the dollar at the Lighthouse Spring Fever Sale.
Hi, I'm Ed Smith, and I'm running for judge here in Erie County. I know Smith is a common name. This election's not about me. It's about you and who you trust. I could tell you about my 34 years of experience, my recommendation from the Bar Association, or my involvement in our community. But when it comes to Erie and your family, you need someone with the right temperament, who's been proven, whose experience you can trust. In this election, I ask for your vote. Please vote for me, Ed Smith, for judge.
Fox Wednesday.
I'm always gonna be here for you.
That right there is a threat to your marriage.
We both know I give you something Lucius can't.
All new Empire, then.
Family is who you choose to be with.
I'm back now. Take a good look, because this is the last time you're gonna see your son.
All new Star After Empire, Wednesday on Fox.
Last Man Standing, 150th episode will blow you away.
That's not what an explosion sounds like.
Last Man Standing, all new Friday on Fox.
Thanks for watching Fox 66.
We do windows from start to finish.
Employee-owned Thermotwin.
Since we manufacture the windows ourselves, we're able to cut out the middleman. Better prices, better product.
We sell and install vinyl, wood, and aluminum.
Quality. You get a quality installation and quality product from an employee-owned company.
I am Thermotwin. I am Thermotwin.
We are Thermotwin.
Get up to 35% off windows with no interest financing at Thermotwin Windows. Employee-owned, Erie proud.
From your weather authority, here's meteorologist Tom Atkins.
Kind of an interesting shot here. We are on the Bob Ferrando Ford World Cam. We are facing east. You can see the flags waving in the breeze. The other thing you can see is, wind out of the east, weather not fit for man or beast, because that rain is coming right into the camera lens, which is located on the pharmacy there on Main Street. So you got some blotches of raindrops on there and the traffic moving nicely. We've got more sunset shots for you, thanks to Margaret out in Fairview. Pinks, orange, red. Beautiful stuff there. And this is down in Crawford, or no, it's actually southeastern Erie County. This is Quarry area from Eddie down there. Nice rural sunrise from this morning. So as we go back to your storm tracker, you can see this stuff just coming on shore. Nothing very heavy, but you've got blotches of rain. There's the one going over Girard and Fairview. Little break developing now in southeastern Erie County for a second. And as you go down to Crawford County, you can see it south of Edinburgh into Cambridge. And that moves out, and then some more comes down the pike from Albion. And for those of you in Warren County, you can see right there, there is Warren, Youngsville, Sugar Grove, and over into Scandia here, just continued kind of a train track of light rain there. So 51 for a high, 33 for a low. Normals are 56 and 38. Once again, our sunrise moving back each day by a minute, and sunset moving back by a minute, sunrise moving up by 2 minutes. So we're gaining about 3 minutes of daylight per day. We had only 2 100ths from the rain so far, but we're fairly close to normal in Erie for the month, and we're above normal for the season since January 1st. So we go to 1327 hours and minutes tomorrow. And it's a very unsettled weather pattern. I mean, you're going to get shots of rain almost every day, unfortunately, but you are going to get fluctuations in temperatures. So you take what you can get when you get it. And right now we're on the cool side. Right now, Joe in Northeast at 41. So is Don and Linda in Chandler's Valley, 43. Carroll down there in Union City. You push a little bit to the south, 49 Titusville, 48 Woodcock, and 55 in North Meadville. So this front is just kind of playing with us right now. And you can see the contrast here. This is the air. Look at this. Right now, 70 in Dayton. That's what's trying to push up here. So as we give you the maps in motion, the blues are the cooler air. So we're still in that for the most part as these showers dissipate towards morning. Tomorrow, not a heck of a lot going on. But then you start to see the reds come in with the late day showers. That's that warm front coming up tomorrow night. And as you go into Thursday, this gets very strong, that flow out of the south. And we'll be well into the 80s on Thursday, maybe, or well into the 70s, excuse me, maybe an 80 with some late day showers and storms into Friday. Some showers at times tonight, lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. Tomorrow, maybe an early shower or late day. Otherwise, 57 to 64, plenty of clouds, but plenty of dry time. More rain tomorrow night, warmer and breezy, 47 to 53. There's your 78 on Thursday. Showers and storms Thursday night and Friday, falling from 66. Saturday, another low brings more rain, 56. Sunday, not as wet for Easter, 54 with a chance of leftovers, and then probably some more showers later Monday into Tuesday. Temperatures staying very spring-like through the period at least. And check out all the views on the weather page of the Skycams at yourerie.com. And of course, what we've got is the percentage of lightning that hits the ground.
I'll say 40%.
It's actually even less.
20%.
And if you're going to be good, if you're going to be wrong, that's a good way to be wrong, because you'd rather 80% of it stays in the clouds.
Exactly.
Right?
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay.
We're heading back to sports. Jay Pushkar has your Penguins game story. Pens fans not happy tonight. Plus action in women's lacrosse. We'll be right back.
The biggest agricultural auction in the region kicks off at 9 a.m. on Saturday, April 20th at Green Hill Farms. Come be a part of the excitement as more than 5,000 people bid on over 10 acres of new and used lawn and farm equipment, vehicles, ATVs, and more. Most items are absolute sale, regardless of price. Find what you need or be surprised what you find. Either way, you're guaranteed to take home a bargain. Lunch stands will be on site, along with factory reps to discuss hundreds of new pieces of equipment on the lot. It's all at Green Hill Farms' annual spring consignment auction, Saturday, April 20th.
Jamestown Mattress, where we make the mattress. We can tailor make your mattress for less. Memory foam, organic, latex, pocketed coils, you name it. At Jamestown Mattress, we are the factory, so you'll save 20 to 60% off comparable brand name prices. We have custom mattresses for your RV, crib, boat, hard to find mattresses for antique beds, and even for Fido. You'll save because there's no middleman. We make the mattress, we sell the mattress, we deliver the mattress. Since 1886, family owned and operated, we are Jamestown Mattress.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Silverado. It's the official truck of calloused hands. The official truck of getting to work and getting to work. It's the official truck of homecoming and coming home. The all-new Chevy Silverado.
Chevy Truck Month continues with 0% financing for 72 months on this all-new Silverado. Or this deal gets stronger. Current competitive owners get a total value of over $9,500 when financing with GM Financial.
You're watching Fox 66.
A lot of car companies are making SUVs, but only one makes the most awarded, the best-selling, and the icon, Motor Trend's 2019 SUV of the Year. Celebrate Jeep Freedom Days with no payments for 90 days and $500 additional bonus cash on our best-selling legendary Jeep SUVs.
Or well-qualified lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on the 2019 Jeep Compass for $199 a month.
And now, Fox 66 Sports with Jay Pushkar.
Good evening. In order to become the 5th team in NHL history to ever come back from a 3-0 deficit, the Pittsburgh Penguins needed a win in Game 4 to get that thing going versus the New York Islanders, and it's not going to happen. The Penguins season comes to an end. They fall to New York in 4 games. As they lose this one 3-1. Jake Guentzel scored 35 seconds into the contest. The Isles tied it right back up a minute and a half later. Brock Nelson is credited with the game-winning goal late in the first period of play. On the Eastern League scoreboard, the Erie Seawolves have taken the first 2 games out of 3 from Bowie, 6-5. Jake Rogers led Erie by going 2 for 3 at the dish with a home run, 3 runs batted in, and 3 runs scored. The Seawolves will go for the series sweep on Wednesday. To the majors, interleague play between the Pirates and Tigers. Game tied at 3 in the top of the 10th, but not tied anymore. Starling Marte with a 2-run blast to left center field. That proves to be the game-winning difference. Pittsburgh topples Detroit your final 5-3 in 10 innings of play. Autism Awareness Night in Waterford as Fort LaBeouf hosted McDowell in boys volleyball. Bison on the attack, and Donovan Rosenberry comes up with the kill. Still in the first set of play, McDowell counters. Logan Herring with one of his 13 kills. Nate Hayes had 16 assists. The Trojans stay perfect on the season with a straight sets victory over Fort LaBeouf, 3-0. Women's lacrosse from this afternoon. Mercyhurst hosting Slippery Rock, opening half from Tullio Field. Julia Rescott strikes, giving the Lady Lakers a 1-0 lead. Slippery Rock counters on the free play. Kelsey Thoensen scores, knotted up at 1 apiece. Minutes later at the other end, again on a free play, Molly Megan gets the marker on that free play, and Mercyhurst holds off for the 7-5 victory. Mercyhurst University held a press conference this morning on 3 major announcements. In the Waterford room at Ryan Hall, Director of Athletics Brad Davis and the administration formally introduced Brooklyn Kohlheim as the new women's basketball head coach. The Lakers also announcing that men's basketball head coach Gary Manshell agreed to a multi-year contract extension with the program and certainly earned it after his team was able to make it to their first ever Elite 8. And finally, Erie Bayhawks owner Owen McCormick is making a generous donation to both basketball programs.
When you see pictures like the campus and what it looks like, and like just the student body when you're on campus and you're walking around and you see them going from class to class, I mean, I was sold like immediately.
It's entirely about the guys that suit up. No egos, great young men, ambassadors of the school, play the right way, do the right things on and off the court. Everything that we've gone, everything that I've gone is because of them.
Well, this place is real special to me, and I have a great relationship with President Victor and all of staff up here, and it's made sense to support the basketball program, and because that's been a passion of mine from the time I was a kid.
McCormick's donation to the men's and women's programs will go toward improvements of the offices and other facilities, including renovations of the Mercyhurst Athletic Center, with the court eventually to be named the Owen J. McCormick Court. The McDowell softball team is riding a 5-game winning streak, and there are great expectations with a roster loaded with veteran players once they get back to the field.
We're a close-knit group of girls. I mean, obviously we all go to school together. Some of us hang out with each other outside of school in softball, and I think that's really helped us. And we're very dynamic, we're very conversive. We're not afraid to tell each other, like, hey, you need to fix this, and we know that we're being hard on each other on purpose, and it's to make the team better. And I think it's really helped us mesh as a group.
This is definitely a special group. As I said, we've never had this many 4-year, 3-year starters on our varsity team, and their work ethic, their love of the game, their passion, their striving to always be better, to be perfect. They're the type of girls, if you tell them they had a good game and they don't think they did, they get mad. They don't want you to just tell them they did good to feel good about themselves. They want to do right by themselves and to do right by the team so that they can bring pride to their families and themselves and their organizations that they've been a part of and the school. So they're just a great group of girls.
McDowell returns to the field Wednesday afternoon versus General McLean. Of course, weather and field conditions pending. And, of course, Sean, we'll go back with the Pens coming up on Jet 24 at 11. We'll hear from Mike Fenner. He was down at PPG Paints for that contest of Game 4.
Yeah, obviously not the way I think anyone expected this season.
No, especially this early in the season, and to have it be a sweep, it's a very big shocker for them.
All right, thank you, Jay.
Sure.
Coming up, some serious dog paddling. A crew on an oil rig making an incredible animal rescue in an incredible place.
Meet your match. An all-new, all-wheel drive Mazda CX-5 and a lease payment of $199 a month. That's $199 a month.
Make it a Mazda. It's open.
Hi. This is amazing. With moderate to severe ulcerative colitis.
Are you okay?
Even when I was there, I never knew when my symptoms would keep us apart. So I talked to my doctor about Humira. I learned Humira can help get and keep UC under control when other medications haven't worked well enough. And it helps people achieve control that lasts, so you could experience few or no symptoms.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Be there for you and them. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, control is possible.
The Ford Escape is the car you want when you want an SUV. But also the SUV you want when you want a car.
Right now, get into a versatile built Ford Proud Escape for as little as $229 a month. Just $229 for a brand new Escape.
Meet your match. For a limited time, get 0.9% financing and 72 months on your all-new, all-wheel drive Mazda CX-3.
Make it a Mazda.
Finally on Fox, you may not believe the story of survival that unfolded in the Gulf of Thailand. Oil rig workers rescuing a dog that was found swimming alone 135 miles out to sea. After spotting the exhausted dog, workers used a rope to lift it to safety. Workers nicknamed the dog Boonrod, which loosely translates to survivor. Boonrod was able to hitch a ride back to land on a nearby oil tanker. He's now in the care of veterinarians in South Thailand who say he is in good spirits. What's still not clear is how this little guy got so doggone far out to sea. It's amazing. 135 miles.
Good to have him back.
They will probably never figure it out, but good for him. Tom?
All right, for us, you can see the breeze down there on Conneaut Lakes Flag, Volunteer Fire Department number 3. And you can see here, we've got some showers coming across the area, so some periods of rain tonight, lows near 40.
Sure. Thank you, Tom. We are 2 minutes away from Jet 24 Action News at 11. Have a great night and a better tomorrow.